As you can see, I've set up my laser to check grade. The minimum that we go by in our area of North Carolina is 2.5 inches of fall per every 10 feet to get water away from a house. In this situation, if we use this as our starting point, which I call the pinch point, that is 6.5 inches lower than this, and all the water comes from way up that hillside. So there's no way that this water through the years has not been going directly to here. Along this wall, there are multiple holes where the water has forced its way through the years and made it into the block, and therefore into the house that there are 3 tenants living in the basement. You can see the mud stains on the house from the water splash up because the gutters are in poor shape. They should be one steady line leading to the lowest point, and there are dips and falls and rises and valleys and holes that all lead to a 3-inch downspout, which is not enough to handle this kind of water, leading into a corrugated pipe, which we no longer use because it is guaranteed to clog up over time. As the water eventually makes it around this corner, it heads down this pathway. I'm going to try to not fall. And then goes here. So when the water overflows from this gutter, and it does because it can't handle it, you can see here that there's a large divot in the ground where the water is entering from this spot of the home as well. As you come around to this side, you will notice that there is a break in the gutter and rotted wood underneath it. What seems to be mold going down the side of the house. The water hits this concrete block, sheds to the left to this spot, which yet again holds water. That ground is completely saturated. And on the inside of this window, it is completely full of mold. It is black. It is nasty. So there's a direct correlation with this to this to this, and then again to that lovely gutter work. You can see more holes here, right at the doorway. The water is either trying to make it out or make it in. And in this spot here, you have the same situation where they have bricked a pathway, but essentially it does not let any water out from that area. And here you're able to see more holes where there are entry points. As you get around to the outside of the house, you can see the water staining on the outside where this gutter has not been able to handle it. Leaf buildup at the door, which is not the tenant's responsibility. Stairway that is in poor shape due to being soaked. Retaining wall that is cracking due to hydrostatic pressure. And weep holes at the bottom for a French drain that would have been put in at some point and none of them are showing any signs of water getting out. So it's just slowly building behind the wall. And this is the edge of the wall. So these kids who've been coming in and out of this house have run a risk every time they pull in of this wall falling on them.